Hey everybody, it's me here to show you how to set up to duplicate the resonators. It's a bit more difficult than duplicating the other stuff. It requires a little bit more patience and also some upgrades. You need one of two upgrades, but if you have both, it's preferable. You need warp reactor theta and warp reactor tau, so that you can take them apart to receive a resonator that can stack up to 100 of them. If you take apart warp reactor sigma, you don't get one for it, so don't bother with sigma. Any other resonator you get will only stack one at a time, which is why doing it this way gets you so much money. You're also going to need pretty much 150% of the materials required to actually make the warp reactor for later. So if you don't have those now, it's fine. What you're going to want to do to start out is you take one of them apart, obviously, and after you've taken it apart, you jump in your ship, jump back out to save it in your inventory. Doesn't matter if it's in your suit or your ship right now. I kind of had mine in the wrong spot, but if you leave yours in your ship, don't worry about it. For the most part, until you get that first 100, this is just a regular duplication glitch. It takes a little bit to get from 1 to 100, obviously. So if you want, you can also go to the Galactic Trade Network and buy any that are in there. Help you duplicate some more. And right here, I just get to the point where I don't want to show just the standard duplicating, so I'm just going to fast forward through this part a little bit. Pretty much the number you're aiming for is 103 total. You want to get at least 103. That way when you have to rebuild your first warp, you're not cutting into your 100 stack by too much. But this is why I was saying you want to have 150% of the materials needed to build it. Is obviously you need the 100% to build it, and the 50% will come in later. As you can see, I still have 101 resonators, as opposed to having a stack of 100, building it, and only having 97 left. But now is the part where it gets to be a little bit more annoying. It's not too terribly hard to follow, but it gets a little tedious. As usual, save your inventory as soon as you have it set up the correct way. Fly out, piss off whatever you want to piss off, or fly into a bunch of rocks. I don't really give a shit how you decide to do it, but just piss something off. Now for this part, if you have any stacks in your inventory that aren't already at 100, you need to fly over the grave, get that stack to 100 before you do the next part. But if all of the stacks you have in your inventory are at 100, before you hit the grave, take apart one of your warp drives. Doesn't matter which one, just take it apart so you have a fresh stack to build on. And you're going to have to do it a couple times depending on how many things you've duplicated. And then once you've picked up everything there is to pick up, build your warp drive again, and toss out any extras. You really only need one stack of each thing. Since I only did one warp drive this time, I didn't use any aluminum or nickel, so just toss the extras out. You're never really going to have extras for theta because it uses such an even number of the gold and emerald. But if you have both warp drives, what you can do is duplicate 200 at a time instead of 100 at a time. Makes it a lot faster, a lot easier. I guess technically, even if you only had one drive, you could just double up the amount of materials that is required so that you can build it twice. I just did it this way because it's what I had and it was easier. If the explanation wasn't very clear anywhere along the way, let me know. I'll try fixing it. I'm fucking exhausted right now. So, you know, I may or may not have missed some stuff. May have added extra shit that didn't need to be said. Or maybe I did it intentionally to confuse you all because I'm a giant asshole. The world may never know. But this is pretty much the glitch. You know? Well, this version of the duplication glitch. Each stack is worth a little over 2.5 million. I think it's about 2 3/4. The most I have gotten from doing this was, I think, about 27 million on one sale. Because after you build up, you know, 2 100 stacks, you can just toss the extras into your suit inventory. Just keep using the same 2 stacks on your ship over and over. Once your inventory is full, you go in, sell, repeat the process. Works a lot faster than using Emerald or Omegon, and uses a hell of a lot of space for the same, well, for a higher amount of profit. And to make anywhere near this much using other stuff, you have to have a ship with 48 slots and completely gut the damn thing, which gets you 43 usable slots. And even doing this with Emerald with 43 slots, I was only making 4, maybe 5 million a sale. Doing it this way, you're making about 5.5 million per turn. Only takes 2 slots, so once you've got a lot of upgrades, it's just a lot easier to do it like this. I'm pretty much just fucking rambling right now, though. So, I guess I'm gonna go and, you know, hopefully someone finds use in this. If not, you know, whatever, it's only an hour of my day. I spend 6 hours at work sitting on my ass playing this stuff, so an hour's no big deal. One more thing that I didn't think to mention when I was recording this the first time. When you're done doing this, I do recommend keeping at least one of the 100 stacks. That way, you know, if you feel like doing the glitch again later, you don't have to build up from 1 to 100 again. You can just start off at 100. Or even if just shit on your ship breaks and you need one of these to repair it, you'll have plenty of them. So, yeah, it's definitely worth keeping it, even if it uses up 1 slot.